Hello, and welcome to
Talks Around the Teapot. Hi. We're doing great. That was a really chill session, wasn't it?
Yeah, nothing happened in that one.
That was really not emotional at all.
It was a filler episode.
Yeah.
It's like on the same level footing as, when we went shopping.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I do love a
Episode
good
8.
Scotch egg.
Yeah.
I do, and I thoroughly enjoyed my Scotch egg session.
Should we start at the beginning?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea because I think at some point in this episode, Maijai might have to leave the table.
I wonder why.
So how did this episode start? Oh,
It
I
started.
remember how it started.
Yeah, so it started and I was not me.
I really thought I was like, oh, well, we're going back to the beginning. And usually the beginning of these episodes are much more chilled and it's just us like pissing around in a brothel for a bit.
Yeah.
And for a second I had forgotten and I was like, oh, this is fine. I forgot that Rosalind was in the worst state of her life, like, from the start. Someone else can talk about the beginning because I can't.
Yeah.
I can't get the
really
ball rolling.
thought that was going to be the worst of it.
Me too.
I was like, it can't get worse than
yeah.
this.
Yeah.
I'd just been ripped apart.
Yeah. I was like, there's no way. There's no way it can get worse for Rosalind.
Well, here's the thing.
We started out friends. Do you know who else started out friends?
Apparently not.
Stop it! This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing.
We're not there yet.
Yeah, let's so we opened with what we opened with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the aftermath.
The aftermath, yeah, because it
And the blood didn't work.
yes,
you.
blood didn't work on you.
And I don't know if it was because of me or if it was because the battle's now ended.
Yeah,
Which is what I
that's
thought had
true.
happened.
That's true. Because there was a brief moment afterwards where I was like, oh, maybe it just didn't work on you in that form. Like maybe it's designed to heal like human bodies.
Yeah, that didn't
But-
cross my mind.
But we couldn't go back and check anyway because the door's shut. So
Probably there to heal our blood and whatever you are.
yeah, maybe.
The Brunton blood.
But then he
I
said
don't
it's the
know.
family curse, so like they knew about it,
That's
the Brotherhood.
true.
But maybe it is just like you said that it was designed to help out in battle, like during whatever test it was,
Yeah.
and then because it had ended, you didn't need that anymore. Well,
So there was that. And then-
I couldn't move for a bit.
Yeah. I tried helping you and you were like, nah, bitch.
You need to let that go because the amount of shit Agatha has pulled on us is so much worse than Rosalind literally fundamentally broken as a human being, not wanting to move or respectfully.
It was just the way I was like, I'm holding Rosalind's hand.
I was like, no, you're not.
And you went, nope. And I was like, oh,
What's
okay.
really funny about that though is you had just taken the hand of this demon thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Can I tell you why
Yeah.
I wanted you to kill me? I was like waiting to die.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah, I thought it was. I was just, but then she wasn't really like. It wasn't an active thing. That was just sort of passive in the back of her
You thought I
head.
was death.
She was just.
Kinda. Like coming to get you.
I don't know what. I mean, I thought you were still this like monster thing that had killed Taya, but I just was like, because it was odd because I started the episode. I feel like in the state Rosalind was in at the end of the last episode, which was like hysteria and like pouring the blood. But then the minute I stopped and I wasn't doing that anymore. It was just like this weird acceptance. Like the thought going through my head was like, I'm dead. Like I am dead. Like that was how I felt. And so I was just kind of waiting. And I was never going to move or leave. And I was never going to actively like try and harm myself. I just was going to sit there and like, if this monster was going to come and kill me, it was going to come and kill me. And if it was just going to sit next to me in silence, it was just going to do that. And Rosalind had the same response to it. I don't know how to articulate it. It was a lot of very odd, overwhelmingly numbing feelings. And then it was really confusing because there was like an extended period where I wasn't sure if it was you or trying to be you or like what was happening. Because from the minute you first spoke, you said onwards, which is what Talia's always been saying.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, everything from then on was just really like confusing.
But I won her over, and she believed it was.
Yeah, by saying what, bitch?
Well, yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
And
then we had like a Beauty and the Beast moment where I was just like having a moment with you as a creature.
Yeah, that was
Lol.
weird.
Funny.
Weird.
Just
You're
hugged
weird.
you
That's weird.
for like 20 minutes.
Yeah. Beast mode, activate.
Agatha was just there. What were you doing?
Well, because you said that the hug like lasted like 20 minutes. So that means I was probably just sat there.
I'm sad.
I'm sat, just like...
It's really
But it
funny.
was-
What does Agatha think is going on? Genuinely.
But it was really another, like, I don't know. Like, obviously that was going to happen because it just mirrored everything when yours happened for the first time.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, it was exactly the same thing, in just, like, with our different respective things.
Yeah.
Which then mirrored itself again later
I
on.
know.
It was weird, though, playing it.
Yeah.
It's weird. That's weird.
That's weird. You're weird.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Aggie
that
was
was
just
a-
so chill.
Yeah, it was in the cardboard.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
I pulled it out thinking it might have been a note. What was that, sorry? That was chill.
Yeah.
Yeah. While all that was going on.
Just like sad. I'm sad.
I'm sorry.
And then
Yeah.
and then we went through into the room with the puzzle.
Yeah.
Oh dear God.
That, I am so sorry to anybody who likes to have our show on in the background or as audio and do stuff. That must have been really boring for you.
I apologise for nothing.
We could just speed it up and then just slow it down for Lyndon's interjections.
Because I can see
Yeah.
your train of thought of that, like, in any other circumstance, we would have been constantly talking to each
Yeah.
other and telling each other what to do. But, like, because of what had just happened, like, yeah, like, I want to say sorry for literally doing nothing, didn't even touch the puzzle once. But I just couldn't because it started to fill with water and I thought you were going to die and I thought I was going to watch you die again. So Rosalind just couldn't do anything.
That was really scary because I know I've done that puzzle before, but not with 8 layers.
That was so many.
That was
we
a
did
lot.
it with 7. We had it at 7. We had
had it
so
at
much
7,
time.
yeah.
And then
Yeah,
we
it
just,
was
like,
the last
couldn't make
layer.
it work for some
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah.
I feel like something went wrong and like we didn't realise it had gone wrong.
Yeah.
Like in the like pattern of it. And then it ruined everything for like that
Yeah.
last layer. For, like it's so long. And the fucking water coming in. That was so scary. I thought you were gonna die. Like
I
when
thought-
you
I
were
thought
on
I was
death
gonna
saves,
die.
I was really like, Jesus.
And like it was when you pulled me down. I was at the top by the ceiling. You
You
down.
threw Agatha to finish
Yeah.
the puzzle.
No, I said take a deep breath, and I was like, okay, we'll stop filling with water if the puzzle is solved.
Yeah.
And it's about, like, you're about to not be able to breathe anyway, so you might as well not be able to breathe doing the
So
puzzle.
I went down. I think I moved like 3 tiles, and Linda was like, "Yeah, 0
You don't have enough time, yeah.
Like, and I was like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah.
It was just the puzzle was just sat in front of me.
About halfway through the game, you broke the puzzle anyway, and it was never going to be fixable.
By picking them up and moving them.
Yeah, I mean, if you read the instructions on the wall, it would have been really simple.
We couldn't.
Because it would have told you how to reset the thing to start again if you made some mistakes. But, oh, you guys don't speak Latin because you're not supposed to be there.
To
Whoops.
yourself, I'm supposed to be then.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be taught Latin. This is an argument that we're having till the end of time.
Lol. But yeah, and then we genuinely don't know what happened because we failed that task.
Yeah.
And then the water still drained
I
away.
was tempted once, like, Aggie was up and awake again. I was tempted to be like, okay, finish it. Because, like, you would
Try
remember
again.
how.
Brutal.
No, because then I was but then, like, if the door hadn't have opened.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like, if it was
No,
still
yeah,
locked,
I
would have been
agree.
like, you
That
know
is the
puzzle.
logical thing.
But while I was unconscious, a certain conversation happened.
Oh my god. Given everything that happened after this, it's really like so much harder for me to think about and talk about. That was so much. That was like,
That was a lot.
that was everything. And I knew that was coming. I feel like I went into this episode being aware that given circumstances, stuff might occur, you know?
No.
Really?
Well, I go into every episode knowing that she wants to kiss you, so
That's fair.
like
Good.
I just went into this knowing that like Rosalind just saw you die, and I like left the last episode with all of Rosalind's feelings about you having died while Rosalind has still basically told you nothing and resolved nothing, because like we did have that conversation at the brothel when Diamond interrupted, but that was like a mess, you know, and it made things nicer between us, but it didn't really resolve anything, and it didn't really like, and I mean she's still not explained or resolved anything really, but like I knew, because you know in the end of the last episode, like for Rosalind effectively like she'd just watched Talia die, so like I knew going into this one that so much of her feelings about that were about the fact that nothing had ever been resolved like by her, like because of her. So I knew from the start of you being alive, like there was such a desperation of like, I can't let that happen. Like I can't let you die without knowing more than what you knew, which was basically like jack shit. And yeah, and then I went you with your, is there anything you want to say in the last like 2 inches of air?
We said nothing.
And I tried, like Rosalind was really trying and she just couldn't, like nothing was coming out, and I don't know if it was just because she was so panicked and so just like desperately hoping that things would be okay, but like she just didn't still.
I didn't get a chance to say anything because I was pushed.
You were yeeted.
The way I pictured that in my head, I literally saw Talia just like get on my shoulder
The
and like,
demon.
push me down.
No, I
That's-
pulled you down.
Is that better?
Either way, I was forcibly put under the water. I was like, fine, all right.
Well, I wasn't willing to accept that we were just going to sit there and die. Sorry. I thought maybe we would do something, and you were the only one who I thought was smart enough to figure it out.
Yeah, it was a compliment, the near drowning.
Yeah. But then
Imagine
we
if
didn't
I
die.
died though. You'd have to live with the thought
Wow.
knowing that you were the person that pushed me under.
You would have died anyway.
I mean, of course, if they'd given you enough time to take a deep breath, maybe you wouldn't have gone on.
Because I said take a deep breath.
Shit,
I gave
Sarah.
time to wait for a breath.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but this is Agatha.
Agatha's
She takes a
salty.
deep breath and it's gone in half a second.
But yeah, then I woke up.
Yeah.
And
Flashbacks.
yeah, and I again,
Rinse, repeat.
I
Rinse,
really
repeat.
didn't. I did obviously, but like it didn't fully like become real to me until like I said out loud, like, oh, so I open my eyes and the first thing I see is you, like in front of me, because that was such like the biggest thing about when I put the ring on and that whole situation. Yeah, the repeat of that was really very, very intense.
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
The same
Yeah,
as before.
yeah.
And
But it
obviously-
wasn't, because you did something very different
Yeah,
than what you did before.
Because she didn't do it before.
Yeah.
Because she was going to.
Yeah.
And then she was like, no. And she was like, Agatha's watching.
Lol. Yeah, this is true. To be fair, Agatha being unconscious did give them like a moment of privacy. Because I don't know if they would have done that if Agatha had been
No.
awake. I mean, actually, I think Rosalind would have because of the state she was in. Like, I don't know if she would have kissed you, but she would have said the things that she said, I think.
Interesting.
Because, yeah, like, I was talking about it earlier, but, like, Rosalind, when she says things that are true, is so funny because she... And it's the same as, like, yeah, when I came to talk to you after I read the journal. Because, and it's you know, it's why, like, both of those times, she sort of doesn't say anything, but she says everything, and it's all, like, a big mess, and she's just sobbing. And she can't stop talking as well, like she really goes on. And it's I think it's just because she goes, like, she was so desperate, like, with the journal, because it had been so long and so hard for both of us. But then this one, it was just this absolute desperation because I had seen you die without saying it. And then you were somehow alive again. And then I thought I was going to watch you die again. And I still hadn't said it for some reason. And so it was just like...
I mean, the some reason was that I came up and was like, okay, we're going to keep going. And then I
yeah,
just
I know. But like, you know, she could have still, you know, to
Yeah.
Rosalind, you know, she could have still said it or stopped you or something. But she didn't. And so she was so desperate when she just saw your face and we were somehow inexplicably both alive. You know, that was... She was so desperate, and it was such a desperate need for you to hear the things that, you know, they just, that's the way that they came out, as they always do. Yeah, it was a bit embarrassing, actually.
It's always weird in those moments for me
Because Rosalind's always a mess, and Talia's always, like, not chill, but, you know, she is...
Talia just never says anything.
Yeah.
You were just we had this chat when you were having your no, we had this chat when you were having your thing
Oh.
about just
like staying quiet. And I don't, but I do, because there's part of me that's obviously like, you know, we have an audience, and I hope it's interesting to watch me sit there and like not say anything.
think it's very
half an hour
interesting.
during a puzzle where we're just going.
Yeah, maybe not
Yeah.
that bit. I think it's
I think that's
interesting when it's a response to me sobbing, rambling
Yeah.
about something.
Yeah. And it's weird
Because it's that dynamic that's interesting.
It's one of those moments where I always think that she's going to have words.
Yeah.
Because that it's always moments that, like, obviously she's played out what this moment
Yeah.
would be. And she, like, had all the words for it, and then, like, every time they come up, she just, like, is silent and doesn't say anything. And it's really weird
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah.
So.
But
also,
she said it and they
did.
kissed.
They did.
I love you. I'm really proud of them.
It was a bit gay,
That's pretty fucking gay.
but then next big thing happened.
I don't know what happened.
Oh, there was a ruby at the end of a corridor. And
Oh, I wasn't.
Yeah, no, I was
wait,
thinking about you. You
I woke
woke
up, didn't I? Forgot about that.
and
I have to wake up
thing
before I
about
go to the
that-
end of the corridor. I woke up.
woke
I
up.
thought they were just going to carry you the rest of the way.
Lol. You woke up because I spoke to you? Interesting.
Interesting.
You got to roll a dice to regain hit points because Rosalind spoke to you.
Weird.
Yeah.
It's almost like something magic happened.
What?
But
No.
nothing to suggest anything magic happened. So of course it was, you know, you
This
heard a familiar voice and it brought you back down.
This is
to
not
your
that type
body.
of campaign.
No,
There's
Yeah.
no magic here.
magic doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I have just been human the whole time.
Yeah.
You got on some makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, no, because you're not hairy, are you?
Oh my god.
I keep thinking that you are hairy.
It's not hairy.
You're not.
We should flash up the
Yes,
picture.
Yeah.
will.
'Cause
And then a picture of what Morne thinks it
Yeah.
looks like.
So, like, this is me. This is what Morne sees.
Lyndon's
we
like,
get DM
stop
to do
giving me
that."
stuff to edit.
I think that's an important
No,
one,
okay.
though.
You're
Yeah.
not going to be wearing a ghillie suit.
It was just prosthetics.
Yeah, there we go. It's just a bit of makeup.
Yeah. But no, you woke up.
I did wake up.
And then we all had a cute little hug.
Yeah.
That was cute.
And then we walked, and that was a moment, like, I think a lot of this episode and the last episode, I don't know about you guys, but I've been really feeling like us as kids and like how much like I love you guys, like, and how we are like all we have now, like, because we've like nearly died multiple times. I'm really like, oh my god. But yeah. So we walked down a corridor.
And I touched the ruby.
Yeah. And then we touched a ruby together.
And then we went together. And this is where it gets hard to talk about because none of us want anyone else to know what happened in our things.
Yeah. So you might have to go.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, I yeah, I have a lot of reasons why I don't want to tell anybody or for anybody to see mine. Really specific things. And I don't want to see yours. I think the only one I could possibly see is yours, and that's only because of a thing that happened in the last bit. You know what it is. It's just, I don't want to say in front of Maijai because they don't know anything that happened in the last bit.
Yeah, I think I think Taya would be able to watch my one because even though I didn't tell you exactly what happened, I like gave you the gist.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But yeah, Maijai.
Absolutely not.
Sorry.
So final thoughts for Maijai?
Maijai.
Maijai.
I'm absolutely devastated and heartbroken, and I don't know if I'll ever recover. I hope I don't have to make a new character, and I guess I'll see you next week, I hope.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's going to be so weird starting an episode just the two of us. That's going to be terrifying. Yeah. We're going to sit down and you're not going to sit down with us.
You might as well just not come over.
Yeah, but what if Talia's back in the episode?
I don't trust you. You'd make her a rat.
A rat.
A brat.
Or a brat.
A rat. Or a rat, to be fair.
I'm not ready to leave, though.
I know, baby, but like...
I want to talk about the thing, and I can't talk about it, but like, you did it. And
I mean, we could get the others to leave first.
We could leave and you could have a bit where you talk about yours.
I don't really have anything to say other than like, it was perfect, though.
That's good to hear.
And that's why you didn't leave.
But there is one thing that you keep saying that I want to respond to, but like I won't.
Interesting. I don't know what that means because
No.
I'm not saying anything about yours.
I know.
Lol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, submissive and subscribable. And I'll see you guys in like 200 years or like half an hour.
Shall I move here so I'm more visible?
Yeah.
Because otherwise I feel like I don't like you guys.
Ew.
Ew. Wait. We might be all we have now.
Maijai just gave me like a really sad look.
I'm really sad.
I'm sad.
Hi.
Do you want me to move the camera so that you're all more in shot?
No.
No.
Nigel. We just have the empty chair as a reminder that Maijai is not here. So, we came back from ours.
We did.
And again, I don't really want to talk about mine
Do we
in front of you.
Do we want to talk about, because Lyndon gave us like, so that we could pick a number. Do we want to tell people what those numbers were?
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. So my number was 8, I think, and I was really playing up whether it was going to be 8 or 9. I don't know why that 1 point made all the difference to me, but then it did because I rolled an 8 and I had a +1 so it made it a 9.
Wildly different number choices.
What did you think mine was going to be? I think you thought mine was going to be way higher.
I thought yours might be around 14.
See, that was my first thought, but then I remember how she felt at one specific point in it. And if anybody wants to know this point, I will like DM me and I will tell you what bit it was. I just don't want to say it in front of Morne because it was a point
Morne can cover their ears. You can just whisper into.
It was the fact that Talia kissed her in public. People around. That would never ever do. You can stop now.
We should have just let.
And so when that happened, that was the thing, and that's the thing that Rosalind very specifically didn't tell you. And when you were asking about mine, that's when Rosalind kind of stopped talking about hers, is because she was like, but I knew it wasn't real because of this one thing, that it would just never be possible. And so that made it happen, and that made her be like, oh, well, it definitely
now I get to
real.
think what that thing
yeah.
might be.
So, and again, like, as much as she would have wanted to stay in it, like, she knew it wasn't real, and she knew that, you know, what had just happened for her in real life was happening, and it felt worth coming back to. It felt more worth coming back to than staying in this thing that she knew wasn't real. And now she's absolutely devastated about a choice that was made. because I think she thought it would be the same for someone else, and it wasn't.
What about because how like what I'm
You're weighing up your words.
yeah I am because I don't want to like
We'll be careful. We'll just talk very carefully.
because when I got into mine, one of the first things I asked you was, is this a memory or am I like living this? Is this happening?
Mm-hmm.
I actually don't remember your response to that.
It was happening, yeah.
It was it's happening, of course. Yeah.
It wasn't a memory.
And I just felt very confused, and I think I said that multiple times
Yeah.
in the thing.
Yeah,
I'm
Agatha was having none of it.
Agatha were you like questioning it outright?
As soon as I got given a glass of wine, I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
bit weird.
Whereas mine, like, I knew it wasn't real, but like I wasn't questioning it out loud. Like, but I felt I was because the questions that Rosalind was being asked in the thing and then not really answering, you know, like I think we were both aware that Rosalind knew it wasn't real or was very, very confused to be there. But yeah, but also I just want to say that was some spectacular DMing because I don't know about you, but like you broke me, and it was so. I'll say it. So Lyndon asked us, you know, the terrifying feeling when your DM messages you to like write something for them. He asked us to basically describe like what a really happy scenario would be like for each of our characters, and he sort of explained the vibe of it and like without saying what it would be or even if it was going to be used. And I think you did really well at like bringing them to life because I know in mine, it was obviously sort of the gist of what I'd written, but there were some details that you said, and that was, I think it was what got me crying was a detail that was so specifically perfect that I had not even wrote or thought of in what I wrote to you. But like you describing that and saying it like really was what killed Rosalind. And you know it was.
No one knows what you're talking about.
You know what it was.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I'll say it because it doesn't really mean anything out of context. But the garden and the roses comments really broke me.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was strange. I felt. I don't know. It just felt really weird.
Agatha's response was wildly different to everybody else's.
I can imagine that. I think that's very telling.
I feel like it was too much for Agatha. Having
Yeah.
been what you've been through as a child growing up. Like the audacity. It felt like the audacity.
That's what it felt like.
How
No,
dare you?
I think that's what it was.
Yeah,
The fact
that's
that-
really interesting.
Yeah, because I don't know, because I was late on sending my response. Well, I wasn't.
You just didn't see it.
You
yeah.
just didn't see it.
I mean,
But-
you sent it this morning.
But I think what you came up with was a lot more interesting than what I had sent to you.
That's really interesting.
I mean, I would have done something with it. It would have been.
Yeah. You read it
would have
now.
been an
Amalgamation.
yeah, of the two.
Yeah.
Probably, with more of the thing that you'd asked for. Just peace.
Yeah, it felt. Yeah, it felt strange.
Yeah. I think there's something really interesting that I think is really telling of a lot of things. And I kind of don't really want to say it in front of Morne, but I think there's a big difference between Rosalind's and the other two's in terms of like things that were completely omitted. Like, you know, I think I'm trying to think of how to phrase this without like giving it away.
I omitted.
The things that weren't part of Rosalind's dream world at all, like the things that she hadn't even, that were not there, you know, it was not the things that weren't present because it was so insular. Do you know what I mean? Like it was really just this one thing that was good and that mattered. And there was no point for Rosalind even trying to imagine a happy version of other elements of her life.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And I think it's really devastating when I think about why Rosalind chose what she chose, and then why Talia chose what she chose. And the audience will know what I mean, I think, because I think I'm right about things about Talia's. This is a weird one to talk
Well,
about.
why don't you have a few guesses of what you think?
Well, I think Talia's had her parents in it. I think both of them were there. I think Rosalind also might have been there, potentially. Rosalind doesn't. Well, she does, but she doesn't. I don't know. But yeah, and I think that's the difference. Talia had a lot of sources of love in hers, I think. Yeah.
Oh. My set number was 5, and I rolled.
Oh, you didn't even
13.
say
I
it.
didn't say. So
A 5. That is low.
8. And
like
18.
like Lyndon said, I wasn't having it.
Yeah, but I love that for Agatha. Like that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, Talia's was 18.
Which again
And
makes
she
so
rolled
much
a
sense.
5. They rolled a 5. Sorry.
Yeah.
You had 10% chance of succeeding. So I left it up to you guys, though.
Yeah, no, I think that was the right decision. Like, because you couldn't have known, you know, because I think it was coming across that I believed it more than I did.
Yeah, if I was going to set numbers, I would have set...
I bet you would have still kept Morne's really
I would
low.
have set Morne's,
You
Agatha's at 8 to 10.
You didn't even ask me when you asked what everyone rolled. You didn't ask me what I
presumed
rolled.
It was going to be a bit higher.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you said it at 10. But yeah,
You thought we all failed for a second.
not all of you.
Right, just me and Maijai was it.
Yeah, I mean, I knew Maijai.
Yeah, I knew Maijai was.
I didn't think Maijai would ever succeed.
Same.
I looked over at their dice and I saw 5 and
Same.
5. Yeah.
I was like, that is nowhere near what you set.
Because I wrote down 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, funny, that is how the show would end. If you
Yeah.
well, today's episode
Yeah.
would end.
Yeah, could you imagine? Like,
That's mad. Just none of
but
us
then I guess we could have like a thing of us like,
in those worlds breaking out of the dream, maybe.
because
Solo
Or if
session.
Jonathan found us out and
because I think because at least my dream, like there was no like it was a mental thing. I was like, yeah, this isn't real, and then I was out.
yeah.
So if I had just accepted that it wasn't, what if like Talia's in this world and then maybe one day something will come up and she's like, this isn't real, and then she's out. It might just take a...
Maybe, because that's the thing.
know.
My thing that made me absolutely certain it wasn't real didn't happen until quite far in. So maybe.
It's
It's also not
was in
necessarily about
denial.
whether it's real or not. It's whether you want to stay or not.
Yeah, no, because this is what I keep saying is like, it's like, I think if things were different in the present day, Rosalind might have stayed. It's because,
Because you might know it's fake, but be like, I'm staying.
I know, but it's for Rosalind, that choice was based. What?
What? Nothing.
I know what you're saying. Like, Rosalind is about to enter a really devastating arc, I think.
Yeah, and Agatha's just gonna
Cope.
sit there and be like,
Yeah, because you now don't have Talia, who's the one who like knows how to sort Rosalind out.
yeah. Whenever Rosalind's upset, I
Agatha's
rely on
just, like,
Talia.
upset.
I don't think Agatha knows how to deal with other people's emotions. Because
Yeah, no, but also she wasn't socialized to. Like, you weren't really
Yeah.
around people as a child. Like, you don't know how to deal with people. But like the thing
Except for
about
Angry Mother.
the thing about choice
Yeah.
and choosing to stay is that the only reason that Rosalind didn't is because of what had just happened with Talia in real life. Because she was like, well, this place I'm in is fake and I know it's fake, and we might be able to have something that's real in the real world. And Talia didn't choose the same. And I think that's because, obviously of what I said about other things. But like, also the fact that you didn't realise that because me and Talia went through together, and then, I'm saying this in front of you because it's fucking obvious Talia was in mine.
You told me it was.
Yeah, that like Rosalind thought that that could have been Talia real, and we were having the same one. We were having the same dream world. And so now that's part of the reason Rosalind was so hysterical at the end, was because she thinks that they were there together and she chose to leave because she wanted something in the real world, and Talia chose to stay because she didn't.
Yeah.
Devo, as the kids say.
And also, and then it just, it plays into the fact that, our the Rosalind Talia backstory hasn't really been explored in detail, like in the show. But it's the thing that's pretty obvious is it was Rosalind who stopped anything happening before.
That slip earlier.
Oh my god, yeah, we accidentally said something in front of Morne. Because I just forget what is and it hasn't been said on the show.
I am very much kept in the dark about a lot of things.
Yeah.
Which I
we
enjoy,
all are
which
about
I enjoy
our
for Agatha.
things.
But yeah, we were in the kitchen
it.
making a cup of tea. Taya said something and immediately I was like,
You're like, what?
excuse me?
No, I'm here.
Hello?
I just forgot that you didn't know. Like, I assumed that you knew everything, but like, obviously you don't.
I just heard this, what? From the kitchen.
But yeah, like, Rosalind is now reliving the fact that she's always the one who leaves and ruins it, but then also is dealing with this thing of like, it's almost like a rejection because Rosalind left this perfect world because she thought they could make something in the real world and Talia didn't. And I think it also comes down to the fact that Talia has other people who love her and Rosalind doesn't. Lol. So it's a lot of things. And then on top of that, Jonathan, facing Jonathan with that, when Jonathan knows that I hurt Talia the first time and I did that, when Jonathan, I couldn't look at him like at all, and I know that he blames me, and I know he's going to blame me for Talia being gone.
Yeah.
And
I could fit
like,
that.
I was so scared. I was like begging not to be brought to Jonathan.
I wanted to get up from my chair and give you a hug, but that's how scared you look. I know.
shitting myself.
I was like, I need to break character. Like,
That's really cute.
Yeah. It was quite terrifying.
But it was like all of Rosalind's issues were like playing out at once. Because then on top of that, it was the inferiority thing with her brothers. Because it was this wasn't meant for you, this was meant for Archibald. What the fuck have you done? You've lost Talia because you've taken something meant for Archibald. You're a stupid, useless woman. You shouldn't have tried to do that. Talia doesn't want you anyway. She wants to stay in the dream world, which, you know, after all of that, and you've hurt her again. Like, it was all of that together, and now Jonathan's here. Like, face him. Like, my girl is broken. Like, I really didn't think she would end the episode more broken than she started it. What have you done? Anyway, what was that end bit like for you with because it was so overwhelming for Rosalind because of a lot of emotional reasons, but like, what was it like when you were like hearing about, you know, what the Brotherhood and like that they knew our dads and our dads were gone and like all of just like the facts of it?
It was strange.
Yeah.
I don't really have words for how I felt. I felt very... I don't know. Actually, one thing that really got me, I don't know if I made this obvious, but Jonathan, he was saying, oh my gods, plural.
I did not pick up on that because Rosalind was too like gone in her own shit.
Yeah. And no, I was thinking of just going, plural. And then I was like, wait, no, that
But that makes no sense, like, for Aggie to have picked up on that because you've been raised your whole life being like, God is everything, God is the truth, whatever, like...
It's called a homophone.
But...
That would have been quite an Aggie thing to have just gone,
plural. Oh my God, Richard's alive, at least. I was so relieved.
So scared that.
Same.
I'm glad that he's alive.
Same. But like the whole Brotherhood is gone. This is what I didn't expect. I thought the Brotherhood would still be up and running and it was just like our dads that were missing. But that Lucas man was like the last one and Jonathan's not a proper member. Like they were saying...
How did Jonathan get in then?
I think he's in because he's in with Gilbert. Like I think there's something there. Like he's allowed to be part of it and help, but he's not like a proper one of them.
Yeah.
But like... I didn't expect, like, they're all gone. Like, everybody has been torn apart, whatever that means, physically or, like, metaphorically.
There are only 3 members and 2 of them are women.
God, we're members of this fucking Brotherhood now. We've passed this trial. What does this mean? Like, genuinely.
We're in a fraternity.
We're frat boys. Like, what does this mean? Like, I don't understand because, like... They're not gonna want us to go back home. Like, home to me now is the Velvet Masquerade. Like, they're probably gonna want us to stay there with them forever now. And I'm like, I still want us to be doing things on our own terms.
Yeah.
But also Rosalind's not gonna leave without Talia, so I guess she's never leaving, probably. Lol. but yeah, I can't believe it. Like, it was also really, like, it was really, like, in the moment as Rosalind, all I was feeling was horrible things about it. But, like, as Taya, looking back on it, I like how incredulous they all were at, like, you passed the trials. Like, you guys, like...
I mean, you technically didn't pass
We
them.
did.
Yeah, I know.
You very much
But,
failed
like,
in the middle.
you did
Yeah,
them.
but
you know?
how
And you
like,
survived them. Why did my mic just fall off? Oh, it's because it's pulled from another chair. Here we go.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I don't know.
It's
what to
really
say.
hard to articulate
Yeah.
what that last bit was. And yeah, seeing Jonathan was so the hardest thing ever. That was awful. Like, that was so... I can't believe Rosalind was just sobbing and begging by the end. Like, I can't believe how bad it was. But I can, because obviously... Your goal to break, everyone. You've broken Rosalind.
Always. You're welcome.
You've done it now. Literally all of her issues came together like that in this episode, and were out. I mean, not all of them, but the absence of one of them, I think, was also part of it. So yeah.
Sure, that one will turn up eventually.
I hate you. How dare you? Stop it. Well.
Everyone has mummy issues in this show.
Yeah.
Some people's mummies are dead.
Mm-hmm.
And some are just bitches.
Yeah.
And others are.
I meant both of them.
Oh
Yeah. What was I gonna say? DM, what was this episode like for you?
That was alright.
What was the end like for you?
The end.
Like the whole section with us being found. Because that was, I think, a really big step forward in the story of the game, because so far we've been doing it all secretly and undercover, and now we're with the Brotherhood, and they know who we are. And Jonathan knows what we've done.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, that's really up for you to navigate, not me to
Yeah.
explain it to you.
That's fair.
What else was I going to ask? How was doing the private bits and the result? Because obviously you thought, what did you think? Like, for all of them, and who you thought would fail, not fail, like...
My goal, obviously, is to have you all fail. But I would say it pretty much ended the way I thought it would. I pretty much expected Talia to fail.
Yeah, I knew.
And I expected Agatha to succeed, and then you were like 50-50.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's fair. Well, closing thoughts, I guess.
Nothing to add?
Yeah.
I guess now you go on... You work out if a rescue is even possible, or if
It is.
Maijai has a new character to come up with.
Rosalind is going to a dimension by herself if she has to. I don't know how, but she's doing it. Like,
No one knows how it's never been done before.
Rosalind in that last bit really said hysterical woman. Like, she really didn't do a good job of, like, proving to them that, like, it was okay that they were women there, because the whole time she was sobbing, begging, like, talking absolute nonsense. Like, she really did not help our case. You were fine. You were just sat with your whiskey.
Yeah,
But
but
Whiskey next week then?
Rosalind is a desperate little...
Peanut butter whiskey.
I don't know.
sounds grim. Not gonna lie. I've had peanut butter whiskey before, and it
Sounds
was
gross.
From Aldi.
Oh, that's even worse.
Sponsored.
I think it's alright.
My closing thoughts are that I need to play again soon so desperately because I don't think I can be a person anymore. Like, I don't know how to function. I don't know how to go to work. I don't know how to talk to people. I don't know how to exist.
Cool.
Yeah? That's my closing thought.
Yeah.
Well, follow us on social media.
Thank
Like
you.
and subscribe.
Submissive and subscribable.
Submissive and
And thank you to
subscribable.
our Patreon.
Yes. Oh my god, thank you to our two, as at the time of this filming, patrons Peking Snack and Aries. I don't know the full use.
Ryan.
I'm calling you Aries because that's how I was referring to you in the chat. But thank you so much. We really, really appreciate you, and we appreciate everybody who watches the show. We love you.
Oh.
And we love you, Mum Attack.
Bye then.
Mwah. Bye.